They didn't need your PIN. They just needed one thing: that black stripe on your card, the one right next to the chip. Wait, your card has a chip. So why does it still have a magnetic stripe too? Nobody ever tells you why. Here's the truth. Your wallet is carrying two totally different technologies from two totally different centuries at once. Untangled dives into stuff hiding in plain sight. And this one starts with a strip of cassette tape. Small mysteries with very long answers are what we dig into on the smart side. In 1960, an IBM engineer named Forrest Parry needed a way to store data on a plastic ID card. His first idea was simple. He grabbed a strip of magnetic tape, the same stuff used in cassette players, and tried to glue it flat onto the card. It kept curling up. So his wife suggested something. Use an iron. He melted it onto plastic. That accidental fix became the magnetic stripe card. Banks loved it. One swipe read your account number instantly. No more manual imprints, no more phone calls to verify funds. By the late 1970s, it was everywhere, on credit cards, on subway tickets, on ID badges. It spread everywhere within years. But here's the problem nobody saw coming. That stripe just plays back the same data every single time, like a cassette tape on loop. Anyone with a $50 reader from the internet can copy that stripe instantly. Criminals started building tiny skimmers, thin enough to hide inside real card slots, sitting on ATMs and gas pumps for weeks. They could clone your card in seconds and drain it before you even knew your card was gone. By the 2000s, stripe fraud was costing banks and customers billions of dollars a year. So who fixed it? Not a bank, not IBM. A broke French inventor. In the mid-1970s, a journalist turned tinkerer named Roland Moreno was working out of a cramped Paris apartment, badly in debt. He had an idea banks thought was insane: put a computer chip onto plastic. Not just storage, an actual processor, small enough to survive being bent in someone's back pocket. He built his own tiny computer, patented it, and pitched it to French banks. They laughed him off. Too expensive. Too strange. Nobody needs a computer in their wallet. For years, he got rejections. Then, one bank finally said yes. France's national banking system agreed to test it in the early 1980s. The results stunned everyone. Because the chip doesn't just store your data, it generates a brand new secret every time you pay. It's not a recording. It's a tiny encrypted conversation between your card and the machine, one that changes every single transaction. Copy today's version, and it's already useless tomorrow. Within a few years, French card fraud started falling. Chip cards became mandatory across France by the mid-1980s. So, why did it take America over 30 more years to catch up? Because the United States wasn't running one small national system, it was running a much bigger, older system, with tens of millions of machines already built around the stripe. Every gas pump, every vending machine, every cash register would need new hardware. You can't swap that overnight. It's not one company's decision. It's an entire country's infrastructure. Banks knew chips were safer. They just didn't want to pay for the swap. If you're enjoying finding out why the everyday things around you work the way they do, tap that like button right now. It genuinely helps this channel grow. What finally forced America's hand wasn't safety. It was money. Retailers started getting hit with the fraud costs directly, and in 2015, a new rule flipped the responsibility. If a store hadn't upgraded to chip readers, and a fraudulent Stripe transaction happened there, the store paid for it, not the bank. Suddenly, retailers everywhere raced to install readers before the deadline finally landed. That's why your card still has both. The chip handles the secure, modern transaction almost everywhere now. But the Stripe still exists for the machines that never got upgraded. old vending machines, some rural gas pumps, certain older ATMs overseas. It's not a design flaw. It's a 50-year-old technology riding shotgun with its own replacement, kept alive purely because upgrading every last machine on Earth is slower than inventing the next one. Next time you tap or insert your card, you're using tech from a broke Parisian inventor nobody believed in. And that stripe on the back is a backup that refuses to die, quietly there in case the future hasn't reached your gas station yet. If you want more stories like this, one where a random object turns out to have this much history stuffed inside it, hit subscribe before you go. Because the next time you pull out your wallet, that little gold chip is still riding in your wallet.